Hello and welcome to Games That Grow Your Biz. This is a show where we bring on experts and focus on play in ways that grow your business. Expert interviews, games play, mindset, and business strategies to create more impact and income in your business. In this episode, I am interviewing Christy Guyer. I had the pleasure of working with Christy Guyer over the last couple of years, and we'll talk about the game we created. But let me tell you a little bit about Christy, because Christy is a visionary creatrix and a woman. In a world where women have been conditioned to ignore their wombs and compartmentalize many of the aspects of themselves that make them women, Christy has spent the last 10 years doing just the opposite. During that time, Christy participated and led numerous sacred women's circles, connecting deeply with women. And she realized the simple truth. A fully empowered woman starts from the inside out, not the outside in. And the key to unlocking this truth is open conversation. Christy believes women's bodies are sacred and can still have fun celebrating their womanhood. And she invented a game that does all of that. Using a game to open up those important, empowering conversations is revolutionary and forever changing the way women feel about themselves. And I'm excited to talk about this and with Christy today. And so welcome. So glad to have you here, Christy.
Thank you, Jean.
Woo-hoo. So, I kind of started to talk about it, and everyone knows that I'm excited about games always, but why a game for this topic? Like, why?
Why? Well, because I think that there is no reason that these embarrassing or shameful or stigmatized or taboo conversations need to be serious. In fact, that's kind of the reason why I think we don't approach them, because they're awkward and they're serious and they're embarrassing, or they are now. I'd like to see that change, but bring that into a safe, fun, playful environment is a game changer.
So, Christy originally came to work with Astrid and I on creating a game. And honestly, when we could see the bigness of your mission, like that was part of the whole thing that got us really excited. Yet we didn't really even know how amazing this game was going to be. And so, I think we're just going to dive right in and get into this game, because I really want to show how this is a really different kind of game from some of them that I have worked on before, primarily Oracle games and that kind of thing. Although this can be used as an Oracle deck as well. So I'm excited to dig in here a little bit. And so let me go ahead and switch the screen over here to the game. So the game is Time Periods, a conversation and empowerment game. And oh my gosh, these beautiful illustrations were done by Astrid Mueller. Amazing, amazing. Love all of that. And actually, let me just turn it over, because the box itself is beautiful. I mean, don't you just want to have that in your house? And inside, woohoo, I still have my little plasticky things stuck in there. Let me pull them out. Upside down. So there's this amazing deck that's full of all these cards. Do you want to tell a little bit about the cards themselves and what we're going to see on the other side?
Oh, absolutely. So this is a card deck. So just like any card deck, it has 4 suits. However, our suits are very special. They are body confidence, self-love, celebration, and communication. Those are what I believe to be 4 of the most important pillars of an empowered woman. So we are able to go deep into those 4 areas of empowering women in this game.
So then I see wild cards, which, how fun.
Yeah, obviously being a woman can get kind of wild. So we threw in some wild cards to make this game really fun.
Action cards.
And yes, we have action cards here, which are actually really cool because every action card contains an action that really does affect women in our everyday life and that we have to like take action around. They affect us just like they
Sweet.
affect the game.
So we are going to actually play it Oracle style today, but I do want to show some of the playability and some of the fun of group play inside of this. And this is one of the really super fun things. We'll talk about that card in a second. But there are all these amazing Shiro cards. Again, illustrated by Astrid. And really to pull forward some of these beautiful women in history who have done some amazing things.
Yeah, I'd like to share that that's actually why the game is called Time Periods, because we are celebrating women from various time periods. Um, and honestly, women need to celebrate each other more. We need to be celebrating ourselves and each other, and that's what this game ultimately does as well.
So actually, we'll talk about this on after we do our oracle reading, because I know that we want to talk about some of the deeper work that you're doing, and and it's built right into the game. Woohoo! All
Woohoo!
right. Oh, and there's one more piece in here. I know it just keeps going on. Superpower cards. Woohoo!
Yes, the
So before you start the
superpower
game,
cards.
yeah.
Oh, sure. They are here. They are exactly what they sound like. Each player gets a superpower to start the game that they can use at whatever appropriate time they'd like to use. We chose superpowers, though, that are often minimized within being a woman. So we want to highlight that they are not minimized. They are very important and very special to making us who we are as women, and they should be celebrated and they should be used as superpowers.
Sweet. All right. Well, I'm going to set those right over here. I'm going to set these here. And to our themes usually inside of these shows is talking to business people about growing their business. So how about if we ask a business question of the Oracle style deck, and we will simply shuffle all these up and get a reading about the businesses of our viewers. What do you say? Sounds like a plan.
Sounds great.
All right. So
Yes.
how about if we ask, show me how to be seen in all my unique womanness inside of my business. I love that because that seems to be
Perfect.
one of the themes that comes up for people a lot. In these cards are really just flying today. We'll pull that one, and both those wanted to come out. Woo! They're just all falling all over the place. That's so funny. And then we get this one that wanted to fall out too. Okay, cool. We have three. Let's see what they have to say about being seen in my womaness. Okay, here's number one. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
So, it comes down to accepting our bodies, doesn't it? I mean, isn't this part of the biggest conversation we have inside of this game?
Absolute body confidence. And this message is so perfect across all of the suits. Just accepting your absolute uniqueness in your business. And as a woman, this is a very special card.
Very nice. All right, here we go. Another
Ooh.
body confidence, covering up. I love how that shows up because what it shows us is this is what happens, right? We do cover up. And so what are you, maybe ask the question for you and your business, what am I covering up? What am I trying to hide?
Yes. Yes.
Sweet. All right, and finally, what else do we have? Celebration, feeling worthy. Oh my gosh,
Mm.
again, a big, big theme in women's circles. Feeling worthy for all the things that you want to create. And I also love that somehow we got a little run here, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, how fun. Yeah.
and and so it kind of says you add all those up together and it makes something that's more valuable, right? Especially in the playing world, is that we have all these things together that now as a trifecta, absolutely to be seen for all your uniqueness, accept you for and really in your body as who you are. And then find what things you're covering up and maybe bring some of them to light and feel that worthiness, standing in worthiness. And then we open up that magnetic heart space. Amazing.
Absolutely. This deck, I promise this deck never disappoints.
I think that I've experienced that as well. So this game also is a fast-moving group play game, which honestly, you have to play it in order to see how fun it is to play, and then that opens up into a wider conversation. What are some of the things that have happened when you've played with groups?
Oh yeah. So it is really fun. It's a collaborative game. So what that means is we only ever win or lose the game together. No one person wins. So we're always strategizing with each other. Our cards are face up. We're working together. We're looking into the future and we're trying to win together. So that in and of itself brings in some really great um, communication and connection with whoever you're playing with. However, each card, a lot of the cards, excuse me, have these conversation topics on them that are supposed to be discussed during the game. So during a game that's fast paced and involves math, by the way, uh, there's this opportunity for deep, vulnerable, and really connective conversation with women, but also with families. I see this being a wonderful safe space for brothers and sisters and dads and moms to come together and talk about things that maybe wouldn't be talked about at the kitchen table, but they should be. So it's a really wonderful experience. And this game, in my opinion, sometimes if you start playing but you don't finish because you entered into a wonderful conversation instead, you still won the game, in my opinion. So I've seen all of this happen. I played recently and we spent 3 hours in deep conversation after we finished the game. So it can be it's like a fun girls' night out. It is a women's circle in and of itself. And like I said, really fun for families to open conversation as well.
Amazing. Amazing. I love all of that. And I love the mission behind it. And, one of the things that we do, especially inside of creating games and decks, is that we want to make sure that the greater mission of of what you're about actually comes through the game and that kind of thing. And one of the things that got added after we did our first run is an interactive piece, actually a workshop kind of piece. And so yes, there's all these Shiro cards in here, but Christy also included a blank one, a space for you. Put your face there, your name, and what's amazing. What's your story? How does this work? So tell us a little bit about this.
Yes, absolutely. On the back of each of the Shiro cards are some beautiful facts about each woman and the things that they did to help move women's empowerment forward in the world. But each of you are doing that as well. We're doing it every day. We just might not realize it. So what we do is we do a workshop to discover what your story is using the game. So we take the 4 suits and we find your number that goes on the front of the card. And then we dive deep into each of those 4 areas and find your empowering statement that you can add to the back of your card. And I've run this workshop a number of times, and it is so amazing what gets surfaced and how empowered the women feel after they've done this exercise. And then they can add that to their card and play time periods with themselves as a Shiro. It's so amazing. It's really powerful. And I'd love to share it with everyone and anyone.
Oh my gosh, what does this game not do? Right? Magic all around. I so love everything about this. And what's so amazing about it is that it really truly does speak to the heart of each person who says, yes, let's play. Let's play. That's amazing. So one of the other things that we also like to talk about in the game making space is this is actually a business, right? This is a business that you have dreamed up and figured out and pulled along and gotten really clear about how you serve the world. And the question I have for you is, how does this game then serve your business? How do you use a game, right, to drive a business? And how do you use this game in particular to do that?
Well, like I said before, I think it's important to bring fun and safe and joyfulness into this space because there is a lot of seriousness out there. There's a lot of change that needs to happen. There is a lot of people feeling unsafe and oppressed, and that's all very real. And what I felt like I could do, though, is change the conversation a different way, not saying the other ways aren't necessary or important. It's just not my way. So to bring fun and safety and to your house, into your kitchen, into your living room, and play and talk and do that, these important topics, that's what I want to do. And if if you only have these conversations inside your family unit, that's what it takes one generation to change some of these conversations. So starting there is important, but taking these out to your women's groups, to wine night, to yoga, wherever, where you can start opening up the conversation with other women and they start feeling like safe and vulnerable and realizing they can make a change. This just catapults all throughout the world that all it takes is conversation and change and connection, really.
Amazing, amazing. And one of the things that you shared as we were developing this and throughout the launch of this game was a story about kind of why you got here, like what was of a friend's daughter, like this
Mm-hmm.
idea of womanness coming through and being celebrated. Can you share a little of that story?
Yes. So my friend's daughter got her first period and I wanted to celebrate her. And that's one of the things I'm really passionate about is celebrating that rite of passage for our women that it isn't really celebrated much, if at all. So I wanted to get her a gift. And what I wanted to get her was an oracle deck that was specifically made for young girls transitioning from young girl to woman. I didn't find what I was looking for, and I thought to myself, this is so important to me that if I want something done, I have to do it myself. So I entered into the journey of creating an oracle deck, and that's where I started. And where I ended is quite different and much bigger and more empowering. And the best part is that I also got my oracle deck after all because the game is also able to be used as an oracle deck. So I'm really passionate about celebrating the rites of passage of womanhood into woman, into crone, and celebrating menopause, celebrating periods, celebrating motherhood, instead of having these feel like a burden or a hassle and like perpetuating this disempowerment, if you will, of being a woman and changing it into celebration and empowerment and utilizing the superpowers that are right inside our bodies.
Fabulous. And you actually also chose an unlikely path. Not everyone has the fortitude to do crowdfunding to create the initial flow to really do that first level production of this game. So tell us a little bit about that journey.
Well, first, I'd like to thank Jean and Astrid for their immense support during that time. I could not have done it without you. Crowdfunding was very intense, and I'm so proud to say that we successfully funded our very first Kickstarter for time periods, and it gave us the ability to print about 150 copies of the game, and it was very um, educational as far as trying to nail down what this game wants to be when it grows up and learning who is really supporting this. And I'm so proud to say we have a number of really um, passionate followers of the game, the ones who supported us right from the beginning. We call them founders, and we created a superpower card just for them, actually, called Found Hers. And it's just been a wonderful journey to, yes, there it is, the Found Her card. Thank you all to all of our founders that supported us who are watching this today, because we could not have done this without you either.
Beautiful. Yes, the whole journey, and for us too, was such a beautiful space to be in, and new things to learn and figure out, and such an important conversation in terms of putting a new piece of work out there, is that who are the people who are really being called in and really discovering that and that type of thing. So if someone wants a game, they can go to timeperiods.com. But if they want to go deeper and they'd like to maybe learn how they could use this inside of their business, or use it for their families, or for a bigger calling or mission, how are they going to find you, or how are they going to get connected with all the goodness?
Okay, so it's timeperiodsgame.com. If you go to the website, there is a lot of videos there, a little bit more about the mission. You can sign up for our mailing list. You can also contact me directly through the website via email. The email address directly is hq@timeperiodsgame.com. And you can email me and let me know you're interested, and we can start that conversation. I love conversations, if you haven't figured that out. And then finally, I am on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok under my brand name, Christina Guyer. You'll find some content out there about what I'm all about, and you can always reach out to me through those platforms as well.
Beautiful. And all of those links are below as well, so you should just be able to click them through and follow her as well. Any other last words of wisdom, or anything that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Creating a game in your business is very empowering for you just in your business. Like, I learned so much about myself and who I want to be and how to be more visible and more seen in doing this. So I would say this has been a wonderful experience, and I would recommend it. I really would. It's been great. Jean, you said something to me when we first met. You said everyone writes a book, but you have a game. Like, that's just such a better, that sounds better. Everybody does have a book, and that's great, but we have a game. A game.
It is quite magnetic, isn't it?
People say, "Oh, what do you mean?" Tell me more.
That's beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on, Christy. And for your viewers, thank you for watching today and joining us in Games That Grow Your Business. And until we meet next time,